Hi guys, and welcome to Tom and Harry SMMA. Now in this next video, I'm actually going to share with you how, when I had a mentor, how they let me down, how that made me feel, and I'm going to really just call that out. So let's get into the video. Right guys, so what happened with the mentor that I had at the time? Now for a start, before we get into go any further with this, I'm not going to tell you who it was, that's unfair, okay? So I'm not going to name drop and use that. What I will do is just share my journey. So when I first started in SMMA and marketing, I wanted to have insider knowledge. I wanted to really be taught by someone who was credible. I picked an individual who I felt was credible. And to be fair to them, they actually knew what they were talking about. And I felt that I could trust that person. So I bought a course. Okay, the course cost me $1,000, I think. So I bought a $1,000 course and I enrolled, really. Went through it. The course content was fundamentally actually okay. It was pretty decent. However, by the time I bought the course, some of it was really outdated. So some of the way that you advertise on the meta platforms and things like that were kind of outdated, and some of the teaching within it actually wasn't adequate. But on the whole, it was okay. But how I was let down by the person who sold me the course was the actual mentorship. And this is the bit that I'm really crying out for people to be careful with, okay? It's not learning, when you buy a course, it's not learning, going through the videos and just learning what to do. We can all learn that. And if the course is anything decent, it should cover all the major topics. Where I struggled, and which is where a lot of people struggle, is once you know that information, you start to apply it in the real world. A lot of stuff happens that you can't actually learn from a course. You have to learn from your mentor. I was let down massively because my mentor wasn't available to me. I would write them a message and say, hey, I've just had this happen. What should I do? Or this isn't working and it's not taught in the course. Like, what should we do about that? And it was like, I'd get a response maybe within 4 days. They might message me back. It was always a very quick 20-second reply. Sometimes it wasn't actually answering my question. I remember once I said to them, like, could I, what do you recommend in this situation? They told me what to do, and actually it was completely incorrect. So I was let down by the fact that he wasn't accessible, and he sold me the fact that his mentorship was so good. And I bought into it, and I was like, wow. And actually it was really quite a dramatic disappointment to me. The other thing, this is the main thing, so we're now 3 minutes into this video, this is what really pissed me off the most, is he then consistently tried to upsell me. And here's an example. So there was a sales module within the course and how to close clients. Now I come from a sales background, so I know how to close, and I did then. However, he would say, hey guys, to all his students, hey guys, I've just been trying this killer close. I've crushed it, and I've just closed the last 5 out of 6 clients. For you to get your hands on this close, it's going to cost you $99. Get it quick because I'm only giving it to the first 7 people. Fuck off, basically, is how I felt. It was a lie. He was trying to upsell to us. He was trying to get leverage off us and get more money from us. There were people in his academy who were struggling with the techniques he was teaching then. So he's basically, and he knew that, and yet was willing to sell to them even more, to say, well, actually, I've got a new close and I'm not going to offer it to you guys, but you can buy it off me. When I called him on his bullshit, he got very defensive and said, well, do you expect me to not make money out of the people who are in my community? That is scarcity thinking, and if you think I'm just going to sell a course and then just let that be the last time I get payment off people, you're mistaken. You've got to leverage off these things. And actually, he was completely incorrect. His chain of thinking was the fact that he wasn't looking after his students. He was actually seeing them as dollar bill signs, and therefore the care and consideration to us was completely wavered. He was constantly upselling new scripts, new strategies. I've got a new strategy, and it's worked for the last 4 clients I've just signed. I promise you it works. To get it, it's $120. Only 3 people. I'm giving it exclusively to 3 people. Like, you don't do that. It's actually mistreating. It's actually mis-selling, because I suspect most of that's not true. If it was working, he should be offering it as part of his mentorship. He should be passing that information down to his students like me, and and helping us and giving us more guidance, but he didn't see any money in doing that or any value in doing it, so he didn't do it. Therefore, what happened, he didn't just let me down, he let actually all his students down, and we were starting to come together as a group and bitch about him, okay, and be like, this person is just money making off us, he just doesn't care about us at all, he's just, all he sees is dollar bill signs, you know, he'd sell his own fucking grandmother if he could. So with all that, he started to lose the respect of his students. They didn't respect him anymore. People were not showing up for the he'd do one live a week and people were not showing up for it. Not just that, he then started to outsource his mentorship. So he gave the sales to a different person to do sales calls on, right? And yes, that salesperson was okay. He was okay. He wasn't great, but the person didn't even want to do that bit himself. And yet he's meant to be doing it in the job. He says he's closing these people in SMMA. He's just won 3 out of 4 clients. Well, then talk to us about how you're doing it, not letting some other salesperson talk about sales. So he was outsourcing the sales. He then started to outsource the Facebook ads part of it to someone else who was picking up calls. So you're buying a mentorship program off this person, and then they're giving it to someone else to do the mentorship, who we didn't know what their success was, or, you know, and that's not what we signed up for. Dramatically let down. Be very careful when you're buying a course in SMMA or digital marketing. And this is not for me to promote my course. I'm not even going to mention it, other than just saying, like, this video is not about my course. It's about the experience I had when I bought someone else's at the very start of my journey. Okay, this video really is just to sum that up. It was not just me that felt disgruntled. It was many others. And be careful when you're picking a course, a mentorship course. Make sure that the mentorship is there, not so much the course. The course has to be there, has to give you all the fundamentals, but pick someone who is accessible, pick someone who is clearly knowledgeable. That's the key. And I just wanted to call out the fact that the way this person treated their students was bullshit, completely unfair, money making, money grabbing, dollar bill signs, ching ching ching, and actually he lost respect of not just his students, but within the industry he became a bit of a grubby figure. So that's where I'm at with it. If you haven't watched the last videos, please go on. The last video that we're talking about is mine and Harry's journey, how we met each other and why we actually closed our SMMAs down, but we joined together to create a super agency. Go check that video out. There's also another video that's just been landing, which is talking about how you can charge $1,000 a month for your services and what 3 things you actually need to do to get there and actually to do it. Otherwise you just don't try and don't bother. And please subscribe, listen to us on Spotify, follow us. Myself and Harry try and give as much free content as possible to help people and to clean up this industry in general. So please go ahead, subscribe, don't miss any of our content. Leave comments, leave likes, it really does help us and we do appreciate it from both myself and Harry. Okay, so with that in mind, there will be another video landing. Keep an eye out for it and we'll see you soon.